Snow Treasure, Chapter 7. "Aren't you in danger, Uncle Victor?" Peter asked. "Couldn't they take you prisoner?" They were in the living room of Peter's home. Mrs. Lundstrom had taken Louisa and Bunny and had gone to get some of the other children who were to help. "Pergarson's on the watch. He'll tell me if anyone comes, and I'll slip out the back and down the slope. They'll be good skiers to catch me. But they could shoot." Uncle Victor only shrugged. "Do you know where the British and French have laid their mines?" Peter hoped the answer would be yes. Otherwise, what would be the use of taking the gold out of the cave if Uncle Victor couldn't sail away with it? "Only partly." "Well, why do we take the gold down the mountain if you can't sail away? I should think it'd be safer where it is." "Peter, it's not right you should question anyone in authority," his uncle spoke irritably. "In military school, you'll learn to do as you're told without asking why. But I'll tell you why it's important for you children to be seen on your sleds today. In the future, however, you're not to question." "Yes, Uncle Victor," Peter spoke meekly. "You can't sail the Clang Parson out of the Snake till you know where the mines are laid. But you can load her and have her ready to leave the minute you learn where they are. Is that the reason?" "Not at all, Peter," his uncle answered. "The reason you must be on your sleds today near the fjord is to accustom the Germans to seeing you there. If they see you today and every day, they won't suspect anything unusual. But if, all at once, you started going in the direction of the Snake, they'd be stupid geese not to know something was going on." Peter hadn't thought of that. How smart Uncle Victor was. "Now, about the mines," his uncle went on. "By the time the gold is loaded, we'll know all we need to know about them. You don't suppose my fishermen can't find out anything they want about our coast, do you? Remember, Peter, we're Norwegians, and we're as much at home in the water as we are on land. This is our country, and these are our waters, and there's no foreign power that can keep us from using what's always belonged to us." Victor Lundstrom thought he heard a noise, but it was not the heavy tread of marching men, but the light, quick steps of children, those who were to be seen on their sleds either around the town or down at the Snake. Today only 4 of them would take gold to the Snake, but after that there'd be many more. Mrs. Lundstrom had gone first for Michael and Helga, and here they were, and Louisa with them. "Now we can get started," Uncle Victor spoke. "Listen carefully while I'll tell you what you're to do. I may have to leave any minute, so pay attention. If there's anything I miss, Fru Lundstrom or Pergarson will tell you." There wasn't a sound from any of the 4. "What I'm going to say is of the gravest importance. On you, to an extent, depends the welfare of our country. If you do what you're told and do it right, you'll be helping countless Norwegians, not only the soldiers in the army, but the people at home." Eyes were bright at this mention of a chance to help their country. "If you children win out, the enemy that today has invaded a peace-loving, unoffending country will have less gold and so fewer guns and less ammunition and food. Also, fewer opportunities to use our wealth to bring suffering and death to our people," he went on. "Peter will take you to a place where we've hidden 13 tons of gold bullion, money, you know, that's not been made into coins. Now you are to take that bullion from its hiding place to the Snake, where it will be loaded on my boat and taken to America to be kept safe for Norway. Here's what you do. Peter will take you to the hiding place. After that, it's up to you. You'll have to find your own way back there later. What is more, you'll have to show the other children, so watch how you get there. Now in Ryswick School, there are 38 pupils we think old enough for this. These will divide into teams of 9, a captain and a squad of 8. That leaves 2 over," Peter spoke. "Right," his uncle answered. "You and Michael will each have 10. Your mother has made up the teams. You 4 are captains, and you must take the ones assigned to you and no quarreling. And if any differences arise, Peter's the one to settle them. You must do as he says. Of course, your teams will split up on the way. You'll go in 2s and 3s, for if they counted 9 and 10 each time, they'd know something was up." He stopped for a minute and then went on. "It's getting late, and I've something very important to tell you. And that is, under no circumstances must you speak one word to a stranger, not a syllable, not so much as yes or no or good day. Understand?" The 4 of them nodded. "Now, today, Peter will take you to the cave where we hid the gold. Pergarson will go along to load each sled. You'll each be given 75 pounds of bullion. That's over 80,000 kroner, 20,000 United States dollars. It will be packed in flat bricks, and each of you will take 4 bricks. These you'll sit on or lie on when you ride belly grinder. When you get to the snake this afternoon, you are to look for a place where there are 2 fallen trees. They are pretty well buried under the snow, but you'll find them because you're Norwegians. You know such things. Between these trees you're to bury your bricks in the snow. Over the top of each pile you'll build a snowman. When I come out at night with Roll as my mate, I'll only have to find the snowman. This was even better than playing pirates, Peter decided. Now about the return trip. You start back up the mountain to Holmes Farm, where you'll spend the night. They have room for dozens. The girls will stay in the house and the boys in the barn. You will get a warm supper and breakfast next day. Then you'll come back here, but it won't matter if you are late, because you are to rest that day and start back to the snake the next day. The way we've planned it is for 2 teams to go one day and the other 2 the next. That will give you a day to rest up, or almost a day. Per Garson stuck his head in the door. Jan from the Saleyard comes, he said. He thinks the Germans are starting up the mountain. Uncle Victor jumped up. Oh, Uncle Victor, don't let them get you, Lavisa moaned. He slipped out of the room and through the kitchen to the outside. They could hear the whiz of his skis on the hard snow.